Mind's blown. What is that? Is that Harry Carey, Mike?
Banging on the table.
Nice. Yeah, I bang a lot. I do a lot of. I'm very articulate. Sorry, guys.
Oh, is this it?
That was your ears exploding. Okay, hi. Okay.
So, Winn Schott in the comics.
I go by Winn.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Well, in the comics, he has a very, we'll say, conflicted relationship with Cat Grant.
Yes.
Is it interesting for you, kind of having that in the back of your mind and playing this character?
Yeah, well, it's. I mean, I don't know if you saw the pilot. It's not hard to have a conflicting interest with Cat Grant. She's a very difficult person, I imagine, to work with. I mean, I haven't had any scenes with her yet, but yeah, I mean, I think it's cool to keep that in the back of our minds. But at the same time, we're sort of reinventing all these characters' origin stories. I mean, you can see it by having a very different kind of Jimmy Olsen. We're kind of reworking Kara's whole story and Hank's story, and everybody's kind of finding their own thing. And we don't know a whole lot about Winn. I mean, he appears on and off in comics throughout the years, but I think we have a little bit more leverage to really create this character from scratch. And I can't imagine having named him that he's not going to get to a darker place eventually. But right now, he's fun, excitable, youthful, really happy, and sort of silly and quirky and young and in love with Kara, even though she doesn't like him like that. But it's okay; they're still friends. So going from that energy to a place where you can become something like who Winn Schott may become, which if you know, is a villain in the DC universe, could be really fun to explore. Hopefully over multiple seasons, because I don't want to die halfway through the first season when Kara zaps me with her heat fishing.
Well, Kara is technically a single person regardless of what costume she's in.
Truth.
I would love to know if, for you, there was any mental trigger when she stepped out and you were now doing a scene with her in the costume.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first time I saw her in costume was the first time you guys saw her in the pilot. Because my character sort of makes her pose for her. he's a personal superhero tailor. So when she steps out, I think I kind of had a very similar reaction, because I hadn't seen any of the promo pics, I hadn't seen any of that sort of stuff, and but at the same time, I had to kind of remove myself, because Melissa and I are like just two total goofball dorks, and so the first time she stepped out during rehearsal, she's like, "Hey, look at this!" She's like, and we're just laughing and being idiots. So we have to kind of switch gears when they call action. But sort of between takes, we're just acting stupid the whole time, which I think is great, because so many times when I come from a theater background, and you usually, when you're working with a new person for the first time, it's sort of crash course, get to know you, let's be best friends, and you don't see a lot of that in film and TV, because it's so fleeting. When you're in theater, you do the same thing every night, and Melissa and I just kind of hit it off instantly, and we're just I think that reflects on screen, and hopefully will continue to in the future.
Just to interrupt the serious comic book questions.
So serious.
Yeah, so serious. So in-depth. Supergirl is obviously a really fun show, and there's a lot of musical talent on board. You,
Truth.
Melissa, Laura
Truth.
as well.
Yeah.
I think probably...
Nakad and Tyler
Yeah.
are singers as well.
And probably unlikely we'll get a Once More with Feeling, Joss Whedon, Buffy episode of it. That would be great. But do you think we could maybe see a little bit of the music incorporated somewhere? Like on The Flash, Grant did the karaoke scene?
That's up to these guys. I think if that happens, wait a second, let us establish these new characters, because people see, especially Melissa and I as the singers, especially me more than her probably, ahead of being just an actor. So I think it would be cool to do that down the line, though. We could also do fun promo-y things with it and keep it out of the actual show. But We'll see.
It might be a little.
I
weird
was
for the
like, next year for Comic-Con for our panel, we should just do like a big group number to introduce the show.
audience. You should pitch that.
I'm already pitching it. If it doesn't happen next year, it's not my fault.
Clark Gregg and Bennett from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. went down the entire red carpet yesterday creating jingles for all of the media outlets that they were on camera for.
That's incredible. See?
Well, short of singing, from a theater background, then how is it for you to be playing basically the audience surrogate in a lot of the scenes that you're in the pilot? Is that a different kind of challenge for you, or is that kind of a bit more exciting knowing
it's so much easier and more exciting. Like when I read the pilot, I was the audience member at that point, and I was like, well, this is the character that I relate to because I feel like him. I feel like that's me watching the show. He's like sort of experiencing these sort of fanboy moments for the first time, and and I'm really excited to kind of be that character that people, especially people at Comic-Con, could sort of relate to. At least at first. So that's really fun. I don't ever get a chance to play that character. I'm usually the dark and brooding, young and angry man. It's the brows. I don't know. Thanks, guys.
Great. Thank you so much.
Bye.